Hi Taurus, this is your soul reading and I have our spirit for a timeless read. So whether you watch this now or some point in the future, I trust that the people that need the message will find the video. So starting out, I wanted to grab a rune for you. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm just going to look at it. Okay, so this particular rune is associated with Uranus, which is obviously the planet of change, and it's ironic because Uranus is currently in Taurus. So it can be misfortune, damage, shock, followed by long-term rewards, or powerful natural forces, evolution, regeneration, and cosmic union. So with this rune, I was seeing with these cards that Taurus has been through some sort of transformation, because with this card, Wings of Light, I was hearing that Taurus has learned to find heaven even in the darkness. There's been some sort of growth and spiritual evolution that perhaps has been really difficult and painful and has involved many shocks or many disruptions, I'm hearing, to how you thought your life would unfold or how you thought things would manifest. But it's almost as though the divine is coming through, saying that everything has been orchestrated in your favor. I think a lot of those challenges and the potential darkness was to give way to this light, was to give way, I'm hearing, or teach you how to fly, how to take the mundane, how to take negative experiences and transform it in your favor, to bring beautiful rewards. I also am hearing for a lot of you, I think you're very powerful light workers. I think it's almost like a very difficult testing period and testing grounds so that you would be able to step fully into mission. And I'm hearing aid others who are going through similar issues or problems. It's almost as though you now bring the light to those who are still in darkness or still struggling with perhaps what you have had to overcome. And beneath that, we also have Inspired Warrior. And for me, I do see Taurus stepping into mission. I think there's been something that has sparked in your heart space, and it's a vision and a dream inspired by the divine. I think for a lot of you, you understand more clearly how you can be of service on a spiritual level, or even perhaps how you can live your best life in regards to how you show up in career, relationships. I'm also hearing that a lot of this darkness has almost strengthened you in regards to your passion, your autonomy, what you feel you can create in the world. Because with this card, I was feeling a sense of a phoenix rising. It's like you've risen from the ashes and your vision is now clear. And I'm also hearing that you had to go through the fire so it could burn away anything that would limit you, anything that would hold you back or potentially prevent you from fully living this passion and this purpose. Now at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Ace of Water, and I was hearing that Taurus is in new emotional waters. This transformation and this growth has given way to a new beginning, and I almost feel as though you're birthing a new dream, or not necessarily a new dream, but you're birthing yourself and your vision more fully in the world. You're entering a new chapter in regards to what you can create and what you can manifest. And I do think it's come after a period of trials and tribulations. Now behind this, we have the Two of Fire. So I think you may just be at the beginning of something, in the stage of kind of deciding how to bring forth this new vision. And I do feel for a lot of you, you've had to overcome a lot of struggles, both internal and external, in order to manifest this. But with the Emperor, I see you stepping into your power. And with the number 4, I see this being grounded, grounding your vision or giving birth to your life purpose and your dreams in a way that's solid and that will be able to blossom and evolve. For a lot of you, I do feel this is the early stages of this vision. And followed by the 10 of Earth, that's tremendous abundance. I think Taurus is going to step into a new chapter where you're being rewarded for everything you've had to overcome and everything you've learned. And I think Spirit is commending you with this Wings of Light. I was hearing that you're one of the most powerful angels. You've developed to such a capacity spiritually, emotionally, on every level that you're now able to deliver tremendous light to others. Now at the center of your spread, we have the Queen of Fire, and it's opposed by the Ten of Air. So for me, this is the power and autonomy you've stepped into. We did have the Inspired Warrior that had a very fiery energy, and I saw the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. So I feel as though for Taurus, you're going to be stepping into this purpose and this mission with tremendous passion. It's something I'm hearing that lights you up, that sparks your heart space. And I'm also hearing you're able to spark the heart and soul of others because of your passion. I'm also hearing that you almost command respect and people are drawn to you because they can sense this innate power and this vision within you. But with the Ten of Air, I feel as though this is what you had to close out to step into this power. For some Taurus, I feel as though you may have dealt with others that repressed you or left you feeling disempowered. You may have dealt with betrayals or dishonesty in such a way that it almost disconnected you from this heart space, from this vision. And I feel as though Spirit is clearing, I'm hearing clearing the field so you can take flight. There's a sense that there's a new chapter and a new life waiting for you. And there's almost a regal energy to this Queen of Fire, that you're kind of stepping into your own grace. And with the Messenger of Fire, I feel as though you're going to be expressing something to others in the world that you're very passionate about. For a lot of you, I do feel this idea or this vision has almost been lurking in the subconscious, but now's the time where you can fully embrace and live it. There's just this energy of, at one point, perhaps you weren't quite able to fully express your truth. If you were around others or in relationships where they didn't really understand or value you, it's almost as though you're going to step into this strength and this power, speak your truth, and it's going to draw forth kindred spirits, or I'm hearing just people that support your vision and support your truth. There's definitely a new or an evolution occurring in regards to how you express yourself and how that creates ripples in your environment and in the energy field of others. I do feel for a lot of you, this message or this passion is relative to spirituality or some sort of purpose that you've sensed. And with the Sun, we have the Sun as a past energy, but I'm just hearing you've learned to stand in the light even when everything was dark. Even when you had every reason to hate or to give in to negativity, Taurus has mastered the art of transmutation, of taking others' negativities or limitations and transmuting it into love and possibility and grace. And it's almost as though Taurus has created this legacy of abundance and blessing. And when people interact with you or connect with you, they also come to the light. Even if they're experiencing turbulence, troubles, difficulty, through accessing your energy or through inspiration and being inspired by your example, they're able to seek a higher vision for themselves and their own journey. And with the Page of Water, I feel for a lot of you, you've had to face some really difficult emotional truths. I feel what's triggering this new beginning is you going through this healing process, having closed out a chapter. I feel as though that past may have carried quite a heavy weight in regards to emotional wounding. And I do feel for a lot of you, it was at the hands of others, whether it was others kind of ridicule or condemnation and misunderstanding, or it could have just been in the form of difficult relationships. I just get the sense that Taurus has learned to stand alone and nurture their own emotional waters without being easily swayed by the words or actions of another. I see you reaching these really beautiful heights and almost rising and soaring because you've released emotional entanglements. The effect of others, the way they may have tried to limit you, or I'm hearing close your journey, it's almost as though now I'm hearing you're impenetrable. You're unable to be affected by lower vibrations. So it's very much that energy of alchemy, learning to not only allow negativity to pass you by, but not absorbing it, or better yet, if you do absorb it, transforming it back into light and love. And it's this emotional mastery that is going to enable you to live your purpose fully and is also what makes you such a powerful light worker. And with the Five of Air, I do sense a time where you've had a lot of disappointments, and I do feel it's disappointments in how others received you. Perhaps you felt a sense that others couldn't quite understand your potential, or I'm hearing you felt like others were blind to your vision. So for some of you, you may have a dream or a desire and this calling and life purpose that you're so passionate about, but you haven't yet, or I should say as of yet, received the support that you hoped for. There's a sense that you wanted others to almost be on your team or be more in sync, be closer in spirit and vision to you. But I almost feel as though spirit purposely put you in darkness so that you could learn to shine your light regardless, so that the actions and behaviors of others wasn't sufficient to dim this glow, to dim this light. And I think that's something you've learned and mastered. And you're showing up here as a 4 of air. For a lot of you, I feel as though you've had to take time out, especially in regards to recharging emotionally. For some of you, you may have almost needed to isolate to protect your energy field so that you could step into this new beginning and step into your purpose and calling. I just get the sense Taurus has also learnt to become their best friend and also how to hear spirit more clearly. I think because there wasn't a lot of perhaps light and love in your external environment, or you were up against some type of negativity externally, it strengthened your bond with your inner core and your inner self. There's a sense that you can receive spirit's messages more clearly and you're more in sync with your own heart space because perhaps people have left you, or there was a sense of being rejected from what you thought you wanted because spirit is saying there was something so much better for you. I think spirit may have put blocks in certain relationships, certain connections, certain workplaces because it wanted you to step fully into mission. And although that may have entailed some really painful or difficult lessons, look at what it's manifested. It's Taurus now ready to take flight. It's Taurus with such a vibrant energy and light that nothing can dim that spark now. And in your environment, we do have Fortune's wheel. So this is the wheel turning in your favor. This is spirit intervening and saying you're now ready to take flight. You're now ready to live in alignment with your own passions, your own desires, no longer at the mercy or the whim of physicality. I think Taurus has learned how to manifest their intentions and their dreams and their beautiful emotional space in the physical world. And it's almost as though I'm hearing spirit is on your team. Spirit has orchestrated this entire plan and the unfolding of certain events. And at times I do think perhaps you thought it wasn't going in your favor, but the message is very clear here that everything was working to align you. I'm hearing at this point in time, it's almost as though for Taurus, now was the perfect moment to step into mission. Now is the time in your journey and your lifespan where you're ready to accept, or I'm hearing step into mastery, especially spiritual and emotional mastery. I think you're reaching new heights in regards to your consciousness. And part of why that's possible now is because you've severed ties with lower vibrations. Not in the form of abandoning others, but not allowing their own wounding or their own point and place of consciousness and perception to lower your own frequency. There's a certain amount of strength that's come through this journey for Taurus. And I think that's why this warrior energy is here. Yes, you're loving and you have a beautiful mission and purpose internally, but you also have the strength to see it through. And I think part of why Spirit was talking about a test course is because it almost needed to put you on this really difficult journey so that you could not only recognize your own strength, but when you step into mission fully and mastery, you're going to have the endurance and the strength to take it all the way, to move to higher levels without retreating into fear is what I'm hearing. And that's what makes you, it's almost the energy of a lighthouse. You're the most powerful lighthouse because it doesn't matter if there's only darkness around, you keep shining. And that seems to be the message from Spirit. Now with the 7 of air, I feel as though this is what Taurus has endured. A lot of recrimination, perhaps doubt of others. It could have been disappointments in the form of abandonment or rejection, but I don't feel you were abandoned by anything that belonged to you. It's a very clear message that Spirit is saying that wasn't your path, or there were certain blocks intentionally put in place to ensure that you'd reach your destination, or you would reach a place of evolution that could bring benefits to humanity. There's a really global energy in regards to what you can create, precisely because you have the ability to endure. And I see this as you, and it's almost like you've become this dove and you're taking flight. You have this radiance, this purity, this glow, because no amount of negativity or disappointment can now shift you. It's like you're immovable in regard, not in a negative sense, but in the sense that nothing can sway you from this message, this passion, what it is you want to create in the world. You're very clear. And with the Nine of Water, you're coming into alignment with wish fulfillment. You will receive the full manifestation of this dream, this vision, this purpose. For others of you, I feel as you step more fully into mission and your calling, you'll receive wish fulfillment in regards to solid partnership or love in the form of supporters, people that are receptive to this message, your kindred spirits, your soul tribe. There's this energy that people will be drawn to you and your work, and you will finally be seen and received in the way you'd hoped for. And I feel as though it's almost going to create this heart awakening. And I'm hearing people will be drawn to your softness, your gentility. Even though you do have this strength and this passion, there's this tremendous love within you because you've learned how to nurture yourself. You've become very comfortable in your own emotional waters, and that gives way to new perspective for others. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Taurus. If you enjoyed the reading, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.